When they come to know of all these laws, they will exclaim, "No other people is as wise and prudent as this great nation." Whereas we have this morning from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verses 1 to 8. The first reading of today, taken from the book of Deuteronomy, is actually a part of the farewell speech which Moses gave to the people of Israel before they entered the promised land. Because God had already instructed Moses that due to his own mistake, his own disobedience, he wouldn't enter the promised land with the people. So Moses decided to address the whole nation of Israel before handing over the leadership to Joshua. In his address to the people, Moses took time to review the history of Israel's journey from Egypt to the place where they were at the time. He recounted before the people the 10 commandments, other laws and principles which God gave the people of Israel, which indeed made them a special people. Then he encouraged them to always obey God's laws, and then warned them of the consequences of disobeying God's commandments. Now, examining the entire address which Moses gave to the people of Israel as contained in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 to 6. And reading that particular address, long address, we can actually say that Moses reminded the people of Israel that in their journey of life, there are 3 things that they can never ever forget. Similarly, that in our own journey of life, there are 3 things we should never forget. Number 1, your identity. Moses said to the people, when you get into the promised land, you will meet other people from different nations, your neighbors. You will meet people with different philosophies and orientations. You will encounter people with different set of beliefs, values, and morals. As you mingle with them, as you socialize with them, as you do business with them, and as you become friends with them, be careful. Do not forget that you are Israel. Do not water down your identity, your belief system, or your values because you are looking for social acceptance, because you want to belong, because you want to get into business partnership, because you want to form friendship. When I was 11 years old, and I was getting into the seminary as a boarding school, my family called me. They said so many things. And then at last, my mother said something to me. She said, "Son, when you get into the seminary, you meet other children from other families, from other homes. Be friends with them, play with them, socialize as much as you want with them, but please, do not forget whose son you are." I don't know if families, parents and grandparents, still inculcate this kind of idea to their children. Because every family has got their distinct identity. They have got the values they promote. They have got the etiquette they cherish. They have got the way they comport themselves, even outside. They got the way they do their things. They have got their do's and don'ts. There are things my friends can do outside But I can't do it. Not because those things are sin. Not because those things are evil. But because my family had told me, you don't do that outside. And so, Moses was instructing the people of Israel, please, as you get into this new area, as you get into this new nation, as you take possession of the promised land, mingle with people, socialize with people, but do not forget there are things that make you Israel. Secondly, Moses reminded the people of their history, how they started, from where they started, how their journey of life had been, all the way from Egypt to that point. Some of us can relate very well, because most of us, we have humble beginnings. Some even started from the scratch. Some started with more or less nothing. Even if you have your life well made out for you before you came into existence, you were born into wealth. Still, those your ancestors, your great-grandparents or grandparents who prepared those wealth for you, they have got their history. Do not remember how they started, from where they started before they get to that point. This is one of the mistakes our world is making. And this is one of the mistakes our continent, Europe, is making. Our continent is firstly forgetting her history. That it was Christianity that made Europe. And some families are also forgetting that it was the piety and the religious devotion of their great-grandfather or parents, grandparents, that built their families the way they are at the moment. So clearly, Moses was instructing the people, do not forget how you started. Do not forget from where you started. Do not forget how you moved from Egypt. The stories your parents, your forefathers told you of how they suffered from Egypt to the wilderness to this point. Do not forget your history. Finally, in his farewell speech to the people, Moses reminded the people never to forget where they are headed, their destination, where they are going. You know, we have got our different personal goals, targets, and ideas where we are going in life. Do not forget where you're headed. Do not forget your destination. About 70 of us were admitted into the seminary at the time. When we gathered together, we thought that all of us had come to become priests. But on the way, as that journey started, some people became doctors. Some became engineers. Some became lawyers. Some became entrepreneurs. Only a handful of us became priests. We thought we had the same destination. No. Everyone got their own path and followed it. Always know where you are headed. You know, in as much as that life is understood as a journey, I have come to classify the people who are on this journey into two groups. You may not find this in the internet. It's my own making, so don't mind me. So I classify people on this journey into two groups. The people are classified as taxi drivers. And the people I classify as bus drivers. You know that a taxi driver has not got a defined destination. His movement is determined by the people he meets on the road. His destination is determined by the people he encounters. on that his journey. There is, for example, if I book an Uber, and there is an Uber going towards the Farnham Royal, Farnham Common, but I'm going to Reading. If I book that Uber, he is very happy to turn around, come and pick me, and we head to my destination, Reading. If we get to Reading, he has forgotten he was going towards the Farnham Common. If we get to the Reading and someone else books him and is going to Oxford, then he moves from Reading to Oxford. His destination is determined by the people he encountered. He has no defined place he was going. But look at the bus driver. Let's take a look at the one I know very well, bus X74. I have known that one very well. That when it's moving this way, it's going to High Wycombe. When it's going this way, its destination is proper, defined. It's going to Slough Center. So if you are not going to Slough Center, there's no business you have got with the X74. The bus driver knows where he's going. His destination is defined. He knows his path. He knows his route. So Moses was reminding the people of Israel, when you meet people from other nations, let them not confuse you. Let them not take you away from your route, from your destination. Always know where you are going. And for us Christians, in all, our ultimate final destination is heaven. Unfortunately, not many people share the same destination with us. And therefore, in my dealings with people, in my encounter with people, in my friendship with people, I must always be careful so that whatever happens, someone may not confuse me of where I am headed. Moses said to the people, always remember your identity. Even as you mingle with people, there is something that makes you you. May it never be taken away from you. Always remember how and where you started. And then finally, do not forget where you are headed. And so he said to them, when people see you not forgetting your identity, not forgetting your history, not forgetting your destination, they will exclaim, how great is this nation that is prudent and wise. Remember, I was advised, as you mingle, as you socialize, remember the son of who you are.